Hi. This morning, actually just a little bit ago, I saw a video that J Rod on Point did, talking to the people of Truckee. Kind of ironic that I was already planning on doing that myself, which shows that we think very much alike. So I'm just wanting to piggyback off of what he said, maybe from a little bit different angle. I want to talk directly to the people in Truckee. And when I say the people in Truckee, I'm not talking about the people who are covering things up and lying or actually may have been involved. I've been contacted by a lot of people in Truckee, and they've told me what the scuttlebutt is going on around there. And there's a lot of good people in Truckee. In fact, I think that probably the majority of people in Truckee are good people. There's a certain percentage, those in power, number one, those in law enforcement, who I believe are controlled by those in power. And basically, it boils down to the people with the money, like any other place, or who controls the area, who controls what goes on, who have the most say-so. The one thing that makes Truckee differ that I see is the way that they have quite the track record of covering things up there. I think there's a lot of crimes that don't go reported, or even if they're reported to the police, they're not included in the UCRs that are submitted, the Uniform Crime Reports that actually document and tabulate all of the different crimes. Because I really believe that the powers that be there really water it down because they don't want to affect tourism. And that could be said for a lot of tourist areas, not just Truckee. But in this particular case, we had a young 16-year-old girl lose her life, and I don't think she did it on her own. I don't think she did it to herself. I think, as I know a lot of you people in Truckee think, it was foul play. I've talked to, right now I couldn't tell you how many, but quite a few people in Truckee who have emailed me, I've been in contact with, and they've told me what the beliefs of the area are, what the beliefs of the people are, what's going through the grapevine, what the scuttlebutt is. And what they've told me is that most of you people in Truckee don't believe that this was an accident. And the thing is, I believe that the powers that be make it to where people are afraid to say anything. But you people who don't believe this scenario, don't believe this accident scenario, don't believe that it was just Kiely taking a wrong turn and ending up in the lake, driving from the cargo area of her vehicle. There's a lot of you who know that it was not an accident. You believe it's not an accident, but you're afraid to come out and say anything. Because I know that the people that I've talked to, they've contacted me, but they're very, very cautious about who they say anything around because of other people that might be involved, relatives, that type of thing. I was just looking here, people. There is a lot of us here on YouTube, excuse me, a lot of us here on YouTube who do not believe this was an accident. And we don't plan on letting this drop until we find out the truth and the people that are responsible are prosecuted. I have other law enforcement agencies right now looking into this, even on the federal level. So there's going to be some more to this. You know, they say it ain't over till the fat lady sings. We already captured her and duct taped her mouth shut, so she ain't going to sing nothing. But let me just say this. I'm here, and I was going to name off all of the different channels that are still believing that Kiely was murdered. Or that even if she was killed accidentally, it was covered up. And I'm looking at my list here. And just off the top of my head, I came up with 12 channels that are still fighting for her. And I know there's a lot more than that. I just came up with the ones that I was real familiar with. 12 of them. People of Truckee who want justice for Kiely, that do not believe that it was an accident, who believe this was a cover-up, as we who are on the outside see obvious was. Me, as a former 10 years in law enforcement and also another year and a half at the federal level, I know how things are supposed to be done, and they did nothing according to protocol. Nothing. Including the autopsy, which is a joke. Why did people tell their kids to be quiet and not get involved? And by the way, you people that did that, it's going to come back to bite you. You reap what you sow. Some people call it karma. Whichever it is, whichever one you believe in, it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. And I'm going to laugh my ass off when it does. Telling your kids, you got to have the death of a 16-year-old girl and you tell your kids not to say anything? You're despicable. You're garbage. Again, this isn't all of Truckee, of course. There's a lot of good people in Truckee. I've talked to them. They've told me what their friends think. They've told me what coworkers think. Somebody needs to speak up. Somebody's got to grow a pair. I don't care if you're female, you still got to grow a pair. Somebody's got to grow a pair. We need to put an end to this crap because people, look, we know what's happened like in Auburn and that area, how all the things have been covered up. We believe that Kiely's been covered up. Her death has been a complete cover-up. And guess what? If this is not curbed now, there's going to be more people in the future. And it may be your child. It may be your husband. It may be your wife. It may be your mother, father, grandparents, children. Do you really want this to go on? Seriously. I'm being totally serious here. Do you really want this to keep going on? Unless somebody steps up and puts on their big boy pants or big girl pants, it's not going to stop. It's going to keep going on. So I implore you, if you are in that area, in the Truckee area, and you have information, let me just digress a little bit and say this, or sidebar, whichever you want to call it. When I was a cop, I used to get information that solved a lot of crimes. And the main reason I did is because the people who would come to me and tell me things trusted me. They knew I treated them fairly. I wasn't like a lot of the other guys that had egos or however you want to put it, that were just could be really real jerks. And the kids didn't like them. People didn't like them. I was always kind to them. I'd give them breaks because I knew it would come back to help me. Now, not on anything major, of course, but like, say, somebody's speeding down the street and I stop them. I let them go. Week later, they flag me down, give me information on the case we've been working. Just like I said, you reap what you sow. You treat people right, people treat you right. But they trusted me. They knew that whatever they told me, I would not tell who told me. I would not rat on them. The people who have contacted me from Truckee, they asked me to keep their names secret. And I will. Any information I get from anybody that you don't want your name thrown in the hat, you won't throw it in the hat. But I got this list here. And like I said, this list is far from comprehensive. There's a lot more people than I have. And I just off the top of my head thought of 12 channels. We have a small army here, people. And for those of you who are not involved in the cover-up, you don't like what you see going on, you've got an army out here to help you. All right? You may not have a voice there, but you can have a voice here. And while we're not going to reveal your name, the information will help us to dig deeper into this. I've already had some really, really good information that I've got some things in my back pocket that I haven't told anybody about yet, other than the law enforcement that I've been in contact with. Yeah, we got some an ace in the hole. Actually, we've got 4 aces. No, but seriously, people, if you have information and you feel you're afraid to say anything, you don't know where to go with it, come to me. Come to Squirrel Girl Crime Talk. Come to some of these other people. And I haven't named everybody because, like I said, I don't want to put a target on everybody's back, and I don't have their permission to say. But I know that Squirrel Girl's in on it. I know that me, J-Rod, and I'm sure plenty of others. You do have a chance for your voice to be heard. And I think I can vouch for everybody else, too, that if you come to them with information, they're not going to rat you out. We will use it to try to dig further, but nobody will rat you out. Okay, we know that there's people there. Your kids, if there actually was a party, because we've never seen any pictures of Kiely at the supposed party. So we're operating on partial information here. But if you do have information on any of this, let us know. Don't hang Kiely out to dry. Seriously, some people have. There used to be some channels that were all about getting justice for Kiely, and then they straddle in the fence, and then they jump the fence completely to the other side. I don't recommend them. But the ones who stayed true, because we believe what we saw. We believe the evidence that we've seen. And we've stuck with it. Those of you who do not believe that this was an accident, we don't believe it was an accident either. We're on the same team. So I say to you, if you have information, you're not going to lose anything by contacting us, because we're not going to, I assume nobody else will. I can't say 100%, but I know that there's a few of us. absolutely will not reveal a confidence. Anything that anybody has told me, I told them, I'll keep your name out of it. And if you were to check with them right now, they'd tell you, absolutely, Kevin has. So people, contact one of us. Contact the person that you feel the most confidence in, the one that you feel the most comfortable with. But contact one of us. Look, we can't let this slide. We know it wasn't an accident. Don't let them get away with this. We can't. Because like I said, if we do, it'll just keep going on. I know there's a lot of good people in Truckee, like I said. I've talked to some of them, as I said. I know there's good people there. So when we, and understand this, when we make comments about Truckee, and I think I already said this at the beginning, but I just want to reemphasize it. When we make comments about Truckee, we are not talking about you good people. The ones that feel maybe afraid to speak out, the ones that are mad at what they're seeing going on. And you're there closer to it than we are. And we can see it from here. So I'm sure where you guys are, you're seeing it big time. Don't let them get away with it. We need to get, if these people pulling this stuff, we need to get them out of office. We need to get them to resign. We need all these people fired. I should come over there and run for sheriff. They wouldn't like that very much. Anyway, in all seriousness, people, you have a sounding board here. You don't need to be silent. You really don't. I know you may be afraid, but you come to us, we'll keep you secret, and we'll be very discreet about how we use any information. Okay, we're not going to make a statement that comes out that people are going to go that points right back to that person. No. We know how to disseminate information discreetly. Okay? So look, I don't know how else to put it other than I just really hope that some of you who have information that we don't have yet, you could make a difference in bringing justice to this poor girl, because she did not deserve to die. She deserved to live out her dreams, and she's never going to get to do that now, which makes me really sad. I hope it does you too. So think about it, but don't think too long, because we need to get moving. We got the ball rolling. We need to keep it rolling. So those of you who feel impelled to reach out, I thank you in advance. Then let's fight this thing together. Thank you.